my troubles all alone.
Welcome back. My name is Pastor Justin Morris with the Pentecostal Evangelical Church, and I'm so happy that you tuned in today. So, All Alone by Johnny Curtis. That's a pretty good song. I really enjoyed listening to that, and it really fits for what we're doing today. And as far as the study of Leah, that came off his CD called Loving Memories Number 2, and he had released that in 1985. And so, and then he's got it on a few other albums, you know, the best of and things like that. So definitely check that out. Go on to iTunes and listen to it and buy it from there. And that's what I did. And so, hey, if you want to reach out and just have fellowship through email, that'd be awesome. My email is morris.pec@gmail.com. And if you want to know a little bit about what we believe in our church and what we offer, you can go on to www.pec.today, okay? All right, so let's get into our prayer requests. And if you got your sheet out, go ahead and get that, go ahead and pull that up. So today, I'm not going to really talk about the numbers of the virus. I don't think we need to really go into that anymore because it's really dropping. And so our prayers are being received. And I think my biggest prayer was that people would wake up and see that God is there and God is in control. And so there are a lot of people Googling God right now and wanting to know why he's allowing this and things like that. So at least they're recognizing who is in control, and that's what my prayer was, okay? I'm not going to say it's a curse from God because it's not. I don't believe that. So let's just continue to pray that the numbers keep dropping and people keep searching for him. And so I also want to pray for the African ministers that we have in PEC. We have quite a few. I mean, we're probably pushing 50 ministers in the continent of Africa. And we have a bishop in each country. Then we have a general bishop in there. His name is Alfred. And so I just want to make sure we continue to pray for him and all the other bishops in the other countries that are building churches. And we have one that is going to be opening up their third branch, which is third church in Mazuzu, I think it's pronounced. And forgive me, Bishop, I think it's Malawi, Africa. So, anyways, let's be praying for them, and because they don't have the medical technology we have here, so just continue to pray for their safety and as they grow. And I just always want to extend a prayer out to our president and his team to continue to protect them in this time. So, okay, let's just jump right into Leah. And her name in the Hebrew means weary. All right, and it's pronounced Leah. There's basically it's the same. You just have a little comma or a whatever you call that thing, but between the E and the A. Okay, apostrophe. Yeah, and so but it means weary, and I can totally understand by reading the story of Leah. And so her father's name was Laban, and her younger sister was Rachel. Now a lot of you probably know the story and how that all fit and what the deal was, but there was a couple of things here that I was reminded of, and one of them was that she was not only Jacob's cousin, but his wife. And I thought, ew. So, I mean, she was a first cousin to Jacob, not like a second or third or fourth removed. But that's kind of the way things went back there. There was really, all right, But Jacob had worked 7 years to have the hand of Rachel. And when it was all said and done, he got tricked and he was given Leah instead because culture demanded that the firstborn is the first to be married off. And so that wasn't the deal he made, but it was either that, be stuck with Leah or work another 7 years for Rachel. And I just thought, you got payback, okay, for those times that you messed over your brother Esau, okay? And so he, the deeds that he had done to Esau was really kind of, what comes around goes around type thing. And so I really feel sad for Leah because all she wanted to do was, feel loved. And because, the fact that Jacob wanted her sister more than her really had to sting, okay? And so, there's so many preachers that preach that Leah was ugly. But the thing is, the Bible doesn't actually say that she was ugly. It actually says in Genesis chapter 29, verse 17, that she was tender-eyed. Okay, that doesn't mean ugly, but it definitely doesn't mean she was beautiful. Okay, so let's look at that. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. Okay, so yes, Rachel was very beautiful. The Bible does say that. But many commentators that I looked up would agree that Rachel had more of a figure of a beauty queen and Leah didn't. Okay, so that's, basically what it comes down to is Jacob was shallow. Okay, he looked on the outside appearance and he's thinking, that's what I want, and I'm willing to work 14 years to get that. And it does bother me. It does bother me that people get that way. But the thing is when you are dating or you're looking for a spouse, obviously the first thing you're going to look at is, am I attracted to that person? Okay, and then you're going to find out if you have the same thing in common. And then you're gonna find out if that person has the same interest in you. And all these things really have to fit together for it to be a good thing. And sometimes there's more on one side than the other. And then they just try to make it work. And it doesn't really pan out very well. So what's the best course of action? Just pray about it. Let God put it together, okay? Well, I'm preaching to the choir here because everybody that's mostly probably watching this video is probably married or has been through what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and move on. The Lord had compassion on Leah in verse 31 and opened her womb up, and she was able to bear children. So if you go into Genesis chapter 29, verse 31, it says, "Now the Lord saw that Leah was unloved, and he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren." So the Lord, knowing that Leah was unloved, and knowing that in that time and culture, if you didn't have children, it would even brought you more of a disgrace. So, number one, she's not loved by Jacob at all. And number two, if she was unbarren, that would just, pile on the coals of desperation and despair. So, the Lord had given her children to bear. And out of her womb came some great things, all right? But I don't want to jump ahead here, okay? So she had this idea, if she kept bearing children, that maybe Jacob would love her, okay? And so she ended up giving him 7 children, 6 sons and 1 daughter. And I'm going to read you off of those names. Reuben was the firstborn, then Simeon, Levi, which he became the father of the tribe of Levi, okay? So there's a good thing. Then Judah, which he became the father of Judah, okay, the tribe of Judah. And then Issachar and Zebulun. Zebulun? Is that how you say it? Okay. And then Dinah. And if you know anything about Dinah, if you read anything about that in Genesis chapter 34, you will know that she was raped and her brothers came to her defense. all right, and Simon and Levi. And in that whole chapter is one of my favorite chapters to read because it has action, it has trickery. It's like a movie you would watch today. It's really a drama that's played out. And as I was reading this, I'm like, hey, this would make a great movie, So, but what they ended up doing was tricking all the males in the city that Shem had lived in, because he's the one that raped Dinah, and tricked them into all of them getting circumcised. Because he loved her, but he took advantage of her before the fact. And not a really good way of showing your love, to rape somebody. I love you, I'm going to rape you, But if you would have done it the right way, things might have went a little bit better for them. But so they tricked them in all getting circumcised. And during the time of pain, which that's what the scripture says, then these two went in and killed every male in that city. They couldn't defend themselves. They were like, still healing up from the circumcision. And Jacob, the scripture says that Jacob was not happy about this whole ordeal, what they did. And because it wasn't of the Lord. So anyways, if you want a super good read Genesis chapter 34, though it's not very long, I promise you, but there's an amazing story there. So anyways, okay, let's talk about Leah. Let's go back to her. She died before Jacob. There's scripture reference to this. And she was buried in the cave that is the field of the Ephraim and the Hittite, according to Genesis chapter 49, verses 29 through 31. And we know that she died before Jacob because Jacob was giving instructions to his kids that, hey, I'm about to die, and this is where I want to be buried. And as soon as he said gave his instruction, he gave up his last breath. So he's stating, hey, this is where all these people are buried, Abraham and Sarah and all these things, all these different people, including Leah, and that's where I want to be buried. So we know that she died before Jacob. Okay. And it was in the land of Canaan, just to throw that out there to you, okay? All right, so lessons learned. What can we learn from this? Well, I found 3 that really stuck out. I'm loving the comments that people are putting down there because I'm thinking, hey, I should use that. So this is a great time that we can go bounce ideas, especially Elias. He lives in Florida, and he's really had a lot of great comments. I've loved it. And so... So 3 I found was beauty only lasts for a while, but the beauty on the inside lasts forever. Now you can taint that beauty that's on the inside by your words that come out of your mouth, and every time you say a negative word to somebody, it just chips at their soul. So remember that what comes out your mouth is like a sword. It can stab and kill inside. So, but beauty only lasts for a short time, guys, okay? The other thing is, if you've got a beautiful wife, but she's got a nasty disposition, that nasty disposition only gets worse as that beauty goes away, okay? Because I've seen some women that was not able to hold it up like they were in the past, and they're even uglier on the inside because they know everything kind of falling and sagging and getting worse, and it makes them even nastier. So do not marry for beauty. I promise you it will not work out. Same with you women. I mean, you get a guy that looks really good and he's all arrogant, and then all that stuff starts sagging and falling off and turning gray. He just gets grumpier because he knows his time was over, okay? So, hey, it goes both ways here, all right? See, I don't have anything to worry about because I was never all that, and I think I've just actually gotten a little better as time, kind of like a fine wine, to get better with time. Just joking, okay? Hey, you can't make someone love you. Okay, Leah did everything she could to get Jacob to love her. But you know what she got out of it? She had babies. and babies bring happiness. And I bet them babies loved her. And so that's, what you can read between the lines when the Lord said that he saw that Leah was unloved, that he opened up her womb, okay? So we all know that most children will attach themselves to mama, okay? And so she felt loved with those children. If you have a comment that say, no, you're completely wrong, that's okay. Put it out there and give me a reason why I'm wrong. But I'm 50 years old, and I've seen a lot of children, and they really, a lot of times will run to their mamas, okay? Because mamas are nurturing. They say poor baby more than dads. Dads are like, "Weren't you hurt? Get up and, shake it off." All right. Mamas don't do that. So most mamas. Okay. What comes around goes around. All right. So Jacob, he messed over his brother Esau a few times. And some major things, birthright, blessing. And he had to work 14 years to get the woman he wanted, and then she couldn't have babies. Well, she did. She ended up having 2. But this woman over here that kept pumping him out, it's like, it's great, but I really want to have this one over here. And, 14 years go by. I bet Rachel, well, she must have still been beautiful because he still wanted her. Okay, but it probably didn't last much longer. So, hey, I really enjoyed doing this study. It was a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. And listen to the rest of the song that Johnny Curtis put out. It was really good. Okay, hey, have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.
There are days I like to be all alone with Christ, my Lord. I can tell him all my troubles all alone. There are days I like to be all alone with Christ, my Lord. I can tell him all my troubles all alone. I can tell him all my troubles all